So this year's hall applications begin on June 10th. I started working on this video on June 2nd while in the middle of working on another video because I realized that hall application season is approaching, so I had to figure out how to structure the video, conjure up a script, and then film everything by June 7th, which is also today, because it is the last day of room change period, aka it's the day that I'm getting kicked out of my own room. And then I can start editing. Now, keep in mind it took me around 3 weeks to edit my university's timeline video. And if I want to get this video out by the time hall application starts, I'm gonna have 3 days to edit this. Cool. I have no idea how I didn't realize earlier that hall application period for year 1 students was coming up, and at this point I kind of wish I never realized it because now I feel the need to make a video on it, otherwise I'm gonna miss out on all the views that I could be getting. I'm not even doing this for money, guys, it's purely for attention. So my university, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, has 2 hall buildings which are considered on-campus housing, although neither of them are in the main campus. I'm currently living in Minion Hall, which is in Hong Kong, and I'm going to give you a review of the hall and room that I'm currently living in. I don't have a lot of information on the other hall, which is in Homantin though, but I've applied for Homantin halls next year, so you guys are just gonna have to pray that I get in so that I can make a video on them and give you a comparison and get more views. There's a footbridge that connects the Hong Kong halls to Hong Kong Station, which is connected to campus. So unlike Homantin where you have the option to take the MTR, the only way that you can get to campus from Hong Kong is to walk, which actually isn't a bad thing because the distance is so short that it's not even worth it to try and take the MTR. Now, I've never tried to walk from Homantin to campus, but I've been to Homantin before, and the thing about Homantin is that it's on a hill. So you would have to walk up a hill every time you go back to hall, even if you took the MTR. First impression, the hallway kind of looks like a prison. I was genuinely surprised when I went to Homantin and their hallways weren't so gray and depressing. According to my friends in Homantin, Hong Kong halls smell like weed, but I don't know what weed smells like, so I can't really comment on that. There's a kitchen on every single floor, so let me give you a tour of these kitchens. We have washers and dryers, which are 2 of my favorite things to cook food with. They're unoccupied most of the time, except for the times that you remember that you have to do your laundry. So what you do is you either wait for the owner to pick up their load, or you run out of patience and you go to the laundry room on the 2nd floor. We have a water fountain and electric stoves because polyu doesn't trust its students to not burn down the halls. Right next to the stoves, we have sinks with strainers that people don't really bother to empty after using, so they're absolutely disgusting. And then we have an oven and a microwave. There's also a lounge on odd-numbered floors where hall activities are held and people come to socialize. Not that I would know that though. So here's a tour of my room. In order to enter your room, you have to tap your student ID. And if you leave your student ID in your room, then you've basically locked yourself out. And so you need to either ask your roommate to open the door for you, or you can go to the lobby and then pay someone $30 and then they'll open the door for you. Now this door has a lock to prevent people who already have access to the room from opening it from the outside. But the only people who have access to your room are you, your roommate, and the janitor, who only comes in to take out the trash on Tuesdays and Fridays. So most of the time, it's only effective for locking out your roommates. Over here, we have a closet that's big enough to fit 15-year-old me. Yes, this is all the closet space that we get. Welcome to Hong Kong. We normally put our luggages on top of the closet, but I'm moving out of this room, so I've already taken it down. By the way, there's a refrigerator in the room, so you don't have to worry about bringing that from home. In Hong Kong, you only have to share it with your roommate, but in Homantin, you would have to share it with 8 other people that you're already sharing the bathrooms with. Speaking of bathrooms, you only share the bathroom with 3 other people, including your roommate and the 2 other people who live next door, so the waiting time isn't too bad. Here is the bed. It's a pretty normal sized bed for a university dorm room, and there's a mattress provided, but it's only 8 centimeters thick, so maybe bring a topper if you want to save your back. There's a shelf right above it, which I only discovered that you can use to hang your laundry after I saw my roommate do it. Ignore that side of the room. I let some of my friends leave their stuff with me before I realized that you can't stay in halls for the entire summer if you get kicked out. And I have a pretty high chance of getting kicked out, but that hasn't been confirmed yet, so that's a problem for future me. Here is the desk. There's a shelf on top of it. It comes with this tiny fan that looks too weak and pathetic to actually cool down a room, but it's actually better than nothing when you're in the middle of Hong Kong summer. Overall, the room looks kind of small in pictures, but like you get used to it after a while, and it's not as suffocating as the pictures would suggest. It is also way better than what you can find off campus for the same price. A lot of the facilities are on the second floor. There's a snooker room, which I have not used, a meditation room, which I have not used, a dance room, which I have not used and gets transformed into a study room during exam week, a laundry room, which I have not used, and one that I have used because it's the one that I'm allowed in, a game room, which I surprisingly have used, although I don't play games because my friend dragged me there once. I still can't give a review of it though because I have no idea how gaming works. There's 2 fitness rooms, which I have used exactly once. They're kind of small compared to the ones on campus though. Not that I use those ones either. There's 2 piano rooms, which I have used because I'm in choir and I do practice. These 2 piano rooms are like right next to each other. So if you're in one of the rooms and someone else is practicing in the other room, you can just hear it. So like good luck trying to practice. There is a study room, which is practically my second home at this point, and a garden, which I go to hang out whenever I have to remind myself that there are so many beautiful things in life outside of academic validation. There's also a band room on the ground floor, which I did not know about for a very long time and have never used before. So all of the halls use the same readmission scheme where you can join activities as a helper, organizer, or a participant in order to earn points, and then the amount of points that you have by the end of the year decides whether you get to stay in halls or not. To be a helper or a participant, like you would have to register for that, but then each hall has their own like method of selecting helpers. So some halls have a lottery system, some halls let their organizers pick their own helpers, and some will ask you to write an essay explaining why you deserve to provide them with free labor. My hall selects helpers on a first come first served basis, which in theory would mean that it all depends on the speed of your internet and your fingers. But I have camped the registration portal every single time there's a call for helpers, and I never got a helper position even once. And before any of you comment skill issue, I know like 5 people in my hall who did the exact same thing and didn't get any helper positions. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Hong Ham, but if I could go back to my first year hall application period, I 100% would have chosen Homantin purely because of the social life aspects. The Hong Ham halls have this thing called hall association. People in a hall association get quotas to organize more hall activities, and like their activities are usually bigger. It's mostly done by locals, and they're basically the people running the halls. I was aware of this when I chose to come to Hong Ham. In fact, it was the main reason why I chose to come to Hong Kong, because like I wanted to make friends with locals and learn Cantonese, but I've already given up on the second part. From what I've heard, Homantin halls are like more international, and also they don't have hall association. One final thing that I would like to say to you fresh meat applying for halls for the first time is don't come to mid-in. Sorry if the unhinged jokes are kind of ruining the video. I'll see you all when I upload another video, which is hopefully before next year. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.